My name is Kersten Xilas from Solution Systems, and today we're going to talk about Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is included with your Microsoft 365 business license. The application is an all-encompassing utility which allows your users to collaborate and meet in a single space. You can access Teams in the following ways: downloading and installing the Microsoft Teams desktop application, which we will be exploring today, using your favorite web browser and accessing the Microsoft Teams website, or downloading the Microsoft Teams app on your mobile smartphone. Let's get started with our tour of Microsoft Teams. In the top right corner, you'll find your initials as well as your current status. The green check mark indicates you are available. The red circle indicates you're busy or in a meeting. And the yellow clock indicates that you are away or your computer has been idle for a few minutes. You can set status messages in the same window. You are able to set the duration before you want the message to be cleared, and you can also schedule out of office in the same location. In the top right corner, you're going to see these three ellipses right here. You can access the settings of Microsoft Teams here, where you can adjust any devices or notification preferences. Moving to the left side, you're going to see several icons. We're going to start at the very top. The first one is going to be activity, or this is going to show you where you have any notifications, such as missed calls, missed chat messages, replies, anything that you've missed while you were away from Teams. Moving on to the next icon, this is going to be for chat. This is where you have your private and your group chat. You can start a new chat by clicking the new chat icon right here. It's going to open up another window. You're able to search for users within your organization, as well as users that are outside your organization. Anyone outside your organization will have parentheses external to indicate that they are not a part of your company. Within a chat window, you're able to send messages. You're also able to share files from your computer, as well as files you've previously uploaded to OneDrive. In the Files tab here, you can review any files that have been previously shared by you or the other members of your chat. You can also add other tabs to each chat with applications that might be helpful. The next icon you're going to see, this is for Teams. Teams are groups that you are a member of. Teams can be created for departments, projects, events. You can create a new team by clicking the Join or Create Team. You can use pre-made templates or create from scratch. Definitely check out the templates because they definitely help the first few times you make your first team, especially if you find a template that matches your team's need, such as if you were managing a project, creating an experience for onboarding employees, or if you're in an industry that matches one of the templates, it might be perfect for you. I'm going to create a team from scratch. The next question they ask is, what type of team will this be? Private means anyone who accesses this team must be granted permission to join, meaning if you create this team, you would need to add users or a group so that they could chat and share files. Public means anyone can add themselves to the team, which means they then can access any chat history or files previously shared. And org-wide means that it will just automatically add everyone in your company or organization in 365. This is very important to note because let's say you're making a team for human resources. You most likely would want to make that team private so everyone cannot see what's discussed or shared. But let's say you're making an all-company team. You would want to choose org-wide because it will automatically grab all of your users in your company and you won't have to individually add them. For this example, we're going to choose a private group. I'm going to ask you what you want to name your team. We're going to name this sales. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and press create. Once your team has been created, it's going to ask you to add members. Because this is a private group, you or other members will need to add individuals. I'm going to go ahead and add Fred Jones. From here, you can choose whether that person is a member or an owner. Owners will be able to add users to this team. Members have access to files, chat, and any historical information that was sent in the team previously. Fred Jones is just going to be a member. All right. So now my team has been created. Once your team has been created, you can continue to add members by clicking on the 3 ellipses here and either add member or manage the team. You can also edit the team if what you're using the team for changes. Let's say at first this is a sales department, but let's change this to sales and marketing. If you want to add a description so that people know what type of team you're adding them to, you can add it here. I'm going to go ahead and add another member. I'm going to go ahead and add Patrick. Add. I'm going to make him an owner though. Close. Perfect. Within your team, you can start conversations and chat within your team. You can also meet on demand for a web or audio call, and you can schedule a meeting for this team or group. This is very useful, especially if you're doing something like a sales team and you're going to do, let's say, a weekly sales meeting. By scheduling it in the Teams app within the team itself, you don't have to add users because you've already added them to this team. You can make it repeat weekly as often as you need to, and then you can set the time, details for your meeting. If there's other people besides the group that needs to be in the meeting, you have that option right here. You can also use the scheduling assistant to see who else's schedule might conflict with the times you're trying to schedule this meeting for. I'm going to discard this for now. Another option within an individual team is adding channels. So this is a sales and marketing team, but let's say I want a special channel just for the sales department. This channel has its own privacy level. So the standard is just everyone who is a member of the sales and marketing would have access to this channel. You could change it to private so that only specific teammates have access. I'm going to go ahead and create that. And then it wants me to add members to this channel. So I'm going to add Fred Jones. Add. And then done. So now within this team, I have this private channel that only the people I've added have access to. This is just one example of what you can do. You could do many things within a single team. Like I said, you could do it to manage a project. You could do it to organize departments. You could do it to plan events. There's a lot of different options you can use Microsoft Teams for. One of the nice features of a team is that when you share files, everyone in the team will have access to them. And if you upload files like an Excel spreadsheet, you're able to collaborate on the same file together in real time and see each other's updates. Or let's say you worked on an Excel spreadsheet 2 hours ago and someone from the group opens up that same spreadsheet, they would be notified of all of the changes that have been made by you 2 hours ago. So it's a really great feature to share files within Teams. Not only does it make confirm that everyone who needs access has access in a single space, but those collaboration abilities that you have in like Excel, Word documents, things like that, it's really cool to see them all in a single space. The next icon, you're going to see a calendar. Your Microsoft Teams calendar and your Outlook calendar should sync together. So if you create a new meeting in Teams, it should also sync up in Outlook and vice versa. If you create a Teams meeting in Outlook, you'll see it here. When you do have events on your calendar, such as Teams meetings, you're able to join the meeting directly within the app. If you're ever meeting with someone in Teams and they give you a Teams ID or code, you can just enter the ID here and the passcode. You can also, again, meet on demand right now, as well as, like I said, schedule meetings. And in the future, if you're interested in hosting webinars, you can access that from your calendar as well. Let's go ahead and then schedule a new meeting. I'm going to add a title, and this is going to be Fred Jones Review. For my required attendees, I'm going to go ahead and search for Fred Jones. I'm going to choose my date from this dropdown. We're going to do our review August 10th. We can pick a time, a duration of how long we're going to need to meet for, or I can select all day if this is going to be an all-day event. If this repeats, again, I can choose the frequency. If I want to include a channel, such as my sales and marketing, I can go ahead and add that. If I want to add a location other than Microsoft Teams, let's say in a conference room, we can add that here. And you can put details or comments regarding your meeting right here. Response options or registration is available here, as well as categories if you categorize your meetings or your calendar, and how you want your calendar, how you want this event to show when you're in the meeting, whether you want to show as free, busy, working elsewhere, or private. If you choose a private meeting in your calendar and Outlook and Teams, if other people look at your calendar, it will just show as a private meeting and it will not give them any details. Let's go ahead and add some details. So review for Fred Jones 2022. We go ahead and send that now. And then if we navigate to August 10th, we're going to see that our event with Fred Jones has been added. And when I highlight the event, I have the option to join or edit. I can also copy the link, chat with my participants. This is really nice because let's say you're running a few minutes late and you want to let the people who are waiting know. You can just say, hey, I'm running late. And everyone in that meeting will be notified. Again, you can share files. You can review attendance. Let's say you're doing a staff meeting and you need your whole company in attendance. This is where you could review that. If someone's using one of the whiteboard or meeting notes, you can start taking notes for your meeting. Whiteboard is very useful where it will actually allow you to write as if you were writing on a whiteboard or a chalkboard. This is kind of helpful from people when they're collaborating or just being creative, or they just want to experiment with new things. Definitely a fun thing to check out. Breakout rooms are useful. So let's say you're having a whole company meeting and you're discussing insurance options. You could create breakout rooms where you could talk to individuals one-on-one without disrupting the rest of the meeting going on. This might be useful for big projects where you just want to meet with someone quickly on, the status of what they're working on without distracting the rest of the group. You also have the option, like I said, to add other applications or integrations to the specific meeting that might be useful for you. For example, there is the option to load Power BI. Power BI is a data analytics tool, and by adding Power BI to this meeting, you'd be able to share reports that have already been built and collaborate and review them with the members of this meeting. Definitely something to take a look at. Very cool. Moving on to the next icon, you're going to see call. This is going to be your call history. This is going to be where you could make calls to team members, whether it's a video call or an audio call. You might create a speed dial list. If you have any missed calls that created voicemails, you can replay your voicemail here. You could take a look at your missed calls and any incoming calls you might have had. If you use contacts in Outlook, this will sync to Teams where you can see your contacts, and if they're using Microsoft 365 or within your organization, you can contact them directly from this window. Moving on to the next the next icon, this is going to be Files. This is going to be where you can access any of the files that you have shared yourself or have been shared with you. It also links up with your OneDrive where it will actually let you preview any of the files that you've previously uploaded to OneDrive. You can also upload files from your computer directly from directly from your computer to OneDrive. So that's pretty cool. Again, Microsoft Teams is an all-encompassing utility where you can collaborate and communicate in a single space, as well as utilize other Microsoft 365 features, such as OneDrive and the other applications that are available. Just like in the Teams, the chat, and the meetings, you have the option to download any application or integration that might be useful for you. Because Teams is kind of the central hub for all things Microsoft, you're always going to see that this marketplace is getting updated. And if there's an app or an integration that's really interesting to you, but you can't find it here right now, I definitely would take a look again because, like I said, it's always being updated. One of my favorite apps to load into a team specifically is this channel calendar. So let's go back into our team for sales and marketing, and let's add this. This is a great one because this allows you to add a calendar for a specific group or team, and then you'd all be able to kind of stay up to date with the calendar of that group. Some people might find this useful, especially when you're doing a project or if you're trying to keep track of things. I find it very useful. Another one you might want to add or to take a look at is going to be Planner or To Do. A lot of these are focused more on projects and collaborating as a group. So definitely something to check out. Like I said, they're always updating it. So if you're looking for something and you don't find it, like I said, chances are in a month or two, you might be surprised and find it here. So that concludes our tour of Microsoft Teams, the desktop application. We've reviewed the application from the right side to the left side. You can chat with individuals privately, or you can chat with a group. You can create and manage teams in one location. You can join or create teams. You can access your calendar or schedule meetings. You can make calls and review voicemail. You can preview and review files that you sent, as well as files that were sent to you, as well as access other cloud storage, such as OneDrive. Has answered a lot of questions you might have had about Microsoft Teams, but if you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to me at kirsten@solsys.com, and I'd be happy to help. Thank you, and have a great day.